This session, we will give you a quick walkthrough about what Rakuten is, what we have done in Japan. Also, I will walk you through our success story of a large-scale countrywide deployment of Open RAN, as well as I'll walk you through how did we achieve it and how that will help uh, telcos, operators, and governments and enterprises basically to uh, deploy their network on Open RAN standards and get benefited from the new standards. Also, get benefited from the vendor diversity, which you will achieve through this exercise. So let me walk you through as a storyline from this exercise, right? So I'll just give you a quick overview about what Rakuten is, what Rakuten Mobile and Rakuten Symphony is about. And then we'll walk to the SIM world from the complexity of the problem statement in telecom world. How do we simplify it in this exercise, right? We are Rakuten as a company. We are present in 30 plus countries, offering 70 plus services uh, across the globe, where we have 25,000 plus employees who are serving the community, right? Our key strength is basically the ecosystem strategy, where we have, as an organization, we are an e-commerce company. So we are a software-centric, software-first company. Started as an e-commerce. We have fintech business. We have media advertisement business. We are into mobile. We started recently. We were a MVNO before we ventured into MNO business. The total volume of business is $15.3 million as of 2021. 2022 will be announcing. The philosophy behind the Symphony is basically we are a digital platform business company. We are defined by software, creating a business value through open, transparent, and secure offering to the customers. And our vision is to democratize the connectivity everywhere with the purpose of drive innovation into the telecom industry by empowering customers to become true digital platforms. Our chairman and CEO, Miki Mikitani, he has always been insisting on empowering people to realize their dreams, and empowerment and innovation has been at very core of our organization. So what we will achieve as a mission would be to improve customer experience and solve telcos business challenges, which we will discuss in future slides. So, many of the times it is being asked to me that what is the difference between Rakuten Mobile and Rakuten Symphony? As a start, we started venturing into Open RAN-based mobile network deployment. As a mobile operator, we are the world's first fully virtualized cloud-native mobile network. Across Japan, we have already reached 98% of the population of Japan. Now, whatever success we have achieved in Japan, we would like to pass it on. We would like to offer it to the telcos of the world, enterprises of the world, through a SIM-World Open RAN software and all Rakuten's international telco solutions, which we'll be offering. Now, when we started in 2018, we also had similar challenges as other telcos have. Like, it's a growing capex industry. You have unanticipated OPEXs locked into previous network investments. Most of the brownfield operators, they have a network deployed on some technologies, some vendors, and they stay with it for a long time. And then they may not get an opportunity to move away and deploy something innovative, something different. The other and then that limits the monetization happening in the network. It gives you concerns about the data privacy and information and security areas, the barrier to efficient operationalization of the network. Also, there are challenges on technology adoption because there are some technologies available ready outside, but because of your vendor locking, you are not able to use it. And this history has been repeating itself since right from the 5G push has recently come, but it is there. So what we have done is we have overcome these challenges and achieved 40% reduction in total cost of ownership, 30% in capex, and 28% on the opex side. With the best-in-class Open RAN and consumer service innovation, which we have deployed, end-to-end secure network platform, which we have built, and we will be offering that to other customers as well. What we have done is we have built our own products. We have acquired companies like Altiostar, Robin as a cloud platform, and partnered with the uh, who's who of the industry like Cisco's and NEC and Nokia and Intel to build these products. Now, all this ecosystem of Rakuten Symphony, which we will take to the customers, to a direct channel to customers, or indirect channel through our system integrator or R&D consultancy partners. Now, when we do that, um, the ecosystem lead marketplace where we will have investment to Symphony, where funding Symphony by priming the ecosystem, then support the potential Symphony clients and endorse Symphony solutions is the three-step approach we have. Through this, we have built a similar total ecosystem DNA, where we have right from the bare metal to managing those bare metals through the cloud native platform, the app aware cloud native storages, orchestration. This is a fundamental unified cloud which we'll be offering. And then we have our own SIM-old network, where is 4G virtualized, 5G virtualized RAN, and SIMware are the solutions which we'll be offering. On top of that, we'll be offering to the customers about the SIM-old platform, which we have built through our network experience in Japan, and we'll pass on to that. There are if you look at the legacy way of deploying things, you will have to go to vendor A for buying some platform for planning the network, like RAN Commander or something like Capacity Manager. You might have to go to another vendor for SIM build. You have to go to another vendor for operations related applications. Now, what happens is you get everything on a single pane of glass. And our vision is to make this like an app store like platform. What happens is whatever applications you want to use, you use it through the platform, and then whichever you don't need, you don't have to. So that's the way this platform will evaluate in current future. This is the end-to-end level 2 stack of the offerings which we have generated. And the design is based on leveraging the open source technology, leveraging the co-innovating with key industry partners, making it cloud native open source initiatives, creating a global network of co-innovation labs. Like we have one in Tokyo, we have in Bangalore, we are creating one more in sooner in other geographies as well. Right. So where the innovation starts, basically it starts from the problem statement that last awarded license for Japan was 2006. So we decided to challenge the market. The ARPU was $60 to $80 per month. Now, with our innovative approach, whatever we have saved on capex and opex, we can offer that to forward to our customers, and that's where the per month uh, consumption of the network would come down to $27. Like for myself, I was on some other network paying $120, $130 a month for myself. Now I have $27. Myself, I have all my family within $70, $80. That's the benefit we could achieve, and we'll also pass that know-how to our customers, partners in other telco industries, right? Multiple plans is another area. So we have one size fits all plan, lack of new innovative consumer services. We have built 9 distinct services uh, through the innovation, and that's how the internet is being made. I would say affordable or cost uh, affordability is brought into the network, right? Again, the journey we started in 2018 April. Now, last year March to 2022, we reached 5 million subscribers, and we are growing. Now, when we do that, how it's not a linear journey. What we have done is there are some non-linear exercises which we have done in, say, acquiring companies like Inoi was acquired in 2020, and I come to Rakuten as part of the Inoi acquisition as well. 2022, we acquired Robin, then we acquired Royalty, and all these companies basically come as an ecosystem to give unified cloud network functions, intelligent operations to internet ecosystem services to our customers. We have 3,000 R&D engineers across the globe. Now, when I was talking about the vendor diversity, the whenever you are working on building a network, deploying a network, you don't have to stick to one vendor because you have chosen one vendor, right? That's not how it will work. Now, in our network, we have Nokia, KMW, S-Pan, Altiostar as a vRAN software, Circom, Qualcomm, NEC. All these players are, and list is growing. So you don't have to basically stick to one vendor, rely on one vendor for deploying this. And we have around 270,000 cell sites deployed across the nation today. And this is the outcome. We have been recognized as Japanese platform company, gaining recognition through Fears, Total Telecom, Financial Times, and The Economist. Everybody's talking about. We also got awards on performance proven on the network. Basically, Umlaut has benchmarked the network, and we got Glomo Awards in 2021. We got it in 2022 as well. Excelling and exceeding the expectations. Now, how do we achieve these uh, fantastic results? Our performance is lying under the way the architecture is being kept, right. You'll see that most of these traditional operators we had uh, like 2T2R antennas, and they're obviously moving to 44R, but we are already there. That's how your site coverage would increase by 30%, and then you get lesser sites to be deployed. And that's where one of the way you can reduce your capex investments. If you look at the way most of these sites are deployed, it takes days to deploy a site, and this is something we achieve in 1 day's time, in 24 hours. So with this, what we do is we have minimized site footprint that will reduce the cost of site acquisitions, the cost of real estate, uh, and also the cost for deploying such site. These are some of the sites which we have in Japan, basically uh, 5G NR in millimeter wave. We have sub-6 on the same network, right? 5G launch in Japan was in September 2020 at the same cost. So we have 4G. We were offering 4G to our customers, and in the same cost, we started offering 5G plan. That's the benefit we can pass on to customers. The radio units are 5G and are 5G and are on MMW on in 6 different prefectures, and we also had our own branded new phones as well launched to the market. Now this is the performance. Let me just give you a glimpse of the performance which we have achieved live. Uh, so this is a little old uh, performance monitored, but that's where we have reached. Right? Now, how did we do this? I mean, I just gave you a glimpse of this is what we did, this is what we have achieved. Now, what is the secret sauce? Basically, it's the way the network is designed, the way we have worked for the 5G. It's the cloud, standardized parts, hardware, and container that makes the difference. Then we have radios, which are Open RAN, most crucial component of the industry. I have been working with multiple customers, and I have observed that radio has been, uh, and many of you will agree that radio is the key cost component in the TCO. So whether you put a complete traditional hardware way, or you want to just have a passive radio and move everything to virtual cloud, is a choice we had to make, and we made that choice. And that helped us because it's all software driven. Automation, anything which is a repetitive task, you just automate it and get away with it. So you don't have to spend man hours and man days and man months to do the same job again and again. And we have collaborated with the different industry partners. We have built our own security on top, and the organization basically 5G needs a new way of working and operating model. It's not just an upgrade of the original network, but it has to have a new thought process into it. Now, the difference, if you look at the traditional networks, you will have the infrastructure, baseband, CPRI, radio coming from maybe mostly from the same partner, same vendor. So you have inefficient infrastructure with a proprietary interfaces, proprietary implementations, proprietary radio. And when you want to change something, you have to go back to the same vendor, same partner, and then wait for the responses and pay the uh, cost they ask for. Now that's where uh, we had to go away from that mechanism, and Open RAN allowed us basically to take those decisions to choose COTS-based hardware. And then because of Kubernetes, it's become efficient way of working. Maybe in after a couple of slides, I will give you an explanation how the Kubernetes would make it efficient. Then we can have multi-vendor operability. Just I showed the number of partners, number of vendors we have in our network. It's because of the open PDU. The open interfaces allows us to open up RAN LLS, and basically the multi-vendor operability is what we could achieve in the network. Now, for us, it's just hardware SKUs, max standardization are two SKUs only. And then we have software containers, which are max utilization for all software. So you have hardware with the Kubernetes architectures on it and a SIM world and a 5G software loaded on it, right? That's where the approach which we took has helped us decrease our capex cost base for 40% with the lower unit costs for deployments, right? And obviously it gives us higher operational utilization as well. Now this is about radio. When we started the existing LTE network in September 2020, the uplink downlink was 75 Mbps and downlink was 390. Then we moved to 5G. Now we have 5G software upgrade in November 2020. Last year, it has given us a massive downlink of 2.8 Gbps. Initially, we started as the 4G, fully virtualized 4G network towards the 5G NSA and now to 5G SA. And all this, most of the things we do through our automation, through the software upgrades. And that's how we could achieve the new performance KPIs. Initially, if you look at any of the traditional networks, the speed of deployment, it takes days or months to deploy the cell sites, right? Now, once you deploy the cell sites, from the cell site deployment to the activation, takes again days, right? So that has come down to 4 minutes. Provisioning has come down to 3 minutes from 3 hours. The operational expenditure for us is 1:20K. I mean, one engineer against 20K subscribers ratio. And that's with the additional automation coming in, that will again, this ratio will start again going positive. The new feature introduction, if you look at any of the traditional networks, if you have to introduce any new feature, it takes months to plan and execute and deploy. It takes, for us, 10 to 15x new network features we add to the network per month. And automation AML is the key, where automation scripts per day are released are 5 times than the traditional way of doing it. Again, we have taken a different approach for deployment of the network. We have 1,200 plus cell sites inspections done between April to July 2020, and that's through the drone inspection. So we have 3 drones operating capacity to expand the need. So it takes 30 minutes to do a site survey. Again, we have built multiple services which we can discuss if you want to understand more. But the innovation are on the 4 strategic levels. One is on the radio. So the disaggregated radio, which radically lower the site capital expenditure because you have a reduced site footprint. Obviously, unified cloud is which is at a greater elastic and greater scalability, which we have achieved. Massive automation and platform organization is another, and it takes a massive shift in the mindset of the organization to build this kind of network. It has our organization, we have people from 65 countries, but at the same time, the mindset is innovation. So if we have to look at how do we replicate these success and pass it on to you, it's basically through the virtualization, the standardization, optimization, automation are the key success factors. And the results are, again, I might be repeating a couple of things, but that's cost efficiency through reduced TCO, lower capex, lower opex, and innovative open business models with agile and unique architecture. Affordability, which you can offer to your customers, and obviously the growth rate. So lessons learned which we are passing on to our customers are basically COTS, reusable SKUs. You don't have to have a dedicated SKU for a dedicated job. Fully virtualized RAN plus core, containerized virtual LANs on the Kubernetes platform, 5G launch with Open RAN, and national roaming leverage partners. This is the basically partner ecosystem which we have built, and we will pass that know-how, that relationship to the customers as well. The deployment acceleration came through zero-touch infrastructure automation, which is through auto commissioning of XNAP and ready for deployment real time. Supports extremely latency sensitive applications like video. So to build a future-proof hardware software solution to support 5G is what we could achieve it. Now, key learnings which we had was through the standardized site designs, the automation in every step of deployment, operational readiness, data-driven network deployment, and tight program management. Now, if you have to rely on much on hardware, what happens is someday you have a crisis on global logistics, and then you end up rescheduling your program management. That is one of the examples, right? The way you have to deal with these software centric networks, what you can do is you don't have to rely on the logistics, and that's where the architecture comes in play. So RAN, it's open RAN architecture, cloud native decoupled uh, network, then the hardware and software which is open, standardized. Again, the core comes as the cloud native core, and operations are all automated. Let me skip some of this. This is what I was talking about, the integrated RRH and antenna, where uh, and the DU goes into the JC. So this is the first time in Rakuten mobile we have this world's first Open RAN deployment through this architecture. Now, when we talk about how it is done, basically the containerization of, say, sub-6 CNF architectures from ORU to GC to RDC, and similar thing which we do for the millimeter view as well, right? Now, when initially we started, if we compare that legacy to against the virtualized stack, legacy you have a single baseband hardware and the LTE software and the CP interface to radio, right? Now, when you move to the Open RAN virtualized stack, the Open RAN compliance after deployment as VNF was where we started. Now you have a bare metal, you have a virtualized the hardware, and then you need a host OS, load a hypervisor, and then we have a virtual machine that will run a guest OS, and then you load your LTE software stack. Now, whenever there is most of you who have worked in the embedded world will understand the event flow here. Now, if you move from that to SIM world, it's a containerized stack. Now, what happens is the Open RAN compliant software deployment on the containerized network functions on SIM world platform will eliminate all these middle layers, and you have a simplified SIM world solution for it. So we have contributed to the RAN Alliance co-chair the ORAN Alliance. We have supported the security controls, automation, and security tools, which we have built across. This is one of the security architecture. Maybe I will keep this slide with you. So when you get some time, you can go through these steps, how it is achieved, basically. And this is where we got with the openness. It obviously is a responsibility. So we are recognized by the US DOS Department of State as the 5G clean technology company, where we have this trusted transparency with a zero trust policies. This is an NIST framework and a clean network which we have. And obviously, when you follow these standards, these network topologies, philosophies, I mean, you'll be there soon, right? So the deploying edge data centers can be completed within minutes. I mean, this is where the auto commissioning will come in picture. Obviously, the construction management team, they have to do the construction, physical construction. That is also an area where we have holding construction applications on tabs so that it's easy to use for the construction workers as well. So they will do the survey, submit the survey report. You get a shipping code, you get a QR scan for the delivery configuration. That goes to the construction, they finish the construction, check and scan, you are done. Now, once that is done, then the physical construction is completed. Everything is automated. It automatically designs the network. It automatically does the config generation for the edge data center. It also does the network auto provisioning and the cloud auto provisioning. For this, we will, as I explained, you get the entire network management system on a single pane of glass. You just pick the applications you want to use. Like if you are a planning team member, you use plan. You are build team member, you use build. Or if you are an operational team member, you just pick those operation applications. That's how simple it is. The most critical part, which is the zero touch provisioning, which we have achieved in our network, is basically again starts with in the same application panel. We have SimPlan, which will help you plan the network to do the site and facility surveys, shipping, construction, digital ATP generations. All these actions you can do in SimPlan, and you'll get the tools like SimPlan, Site Manager, Procurement Manager, Simples. You generate your own workflow studios and process hubs and process runners. Right? Then you pass it on to ZTP, and that's where the ZTP triggers. And then you have again auto design, auto configuration generation, provisioning, cloud auto provisioning, network function service provisioning, security, and monitoring. All these things will be kicked under. Right. And all that naming I edge data center, config generations, the cloud provisioning exercise, all this would be done in the tool sets of SimBuild and SimOps. This is where we basically demystified all the exercises were done before. It's easy to attempt. Long way for mass adoption. You just get as just another vendor, easy to replicate. You will have a challenge like, okay, Rakuten Symphony will cannibalize my business. Right? No, not that way. So we are 2-year journey, 1,500 plus engineers, massive amount of learning, which we'll pass on to the stakeholders. So it's like an origami. Master the craft, and then all that experience we have built as a software first e-commerce company of 20. We just completed 25 years this year. So that disrupting markets, our expertise in telco, IT, and e-commerce, and the connectivity which we have built. So that's what I have built for. If you want to go through any new topics, questions, we can start it sometime later.
Thank you, Mahesh. I think we already have 2 questions from Keith. Since you mentioned the site upgrading slash construction time from days to 4 minutes, how do you upgrade the LTE sites to 5G?
Okay,
Yes.
let me take this question.
Okay.
So whatever we have installed for the 4G, our servers, our servers and site is fully ready for the 5G upgrade. So it just required a simple software upgrade to upgrade that site on the 5G. That's why it take very less time to upgrade it on 5G.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another question.
Let me take the second question. Basically, we know that most of these the bigger challenge we had initially was building the ecosystem for Open RAN. Now, having the radio vendors who are compliant to Open RAN standards, having the core compliant, having the uh, having a workforce who can work on the Open RAN uh, deployments, and now that we have already overcome. Now the new challenge would be to basically um, get this replicated. Now we already started one replication in Germany. We already have one more ongoing. Now, once we replicate that, what next thing come is scaling that ecosystem. Now you have an ecosystem which is supporting you, but getting that ecosystem to the scale where we can uh, get those uh, radios or the hardwares more affordable than they are today. So that's the next 2 to 3 years we should be looking at.
The question from Clint, I think is meant for Smart and Globe, which we have actually in this call. We have Leonard from Smart and Gerard from Globe.
Yeah, let me start maybe to answer with the present priorities of Marcos administration, particularly in digital transformation. What will be the best recommendation from your company when it comes to present technology like Open RAN that can contribute in realizing the objective in 6-year term of the president? Well, it's not about just connectivity, but rather on the capability of us adopting digital transformation. This is the key element for in terms of progressing such digital transformation. The use of mobile application, the use of digital solutions, not only on Open RAN, because Open RAN basically is a connectivity layer from the end-to-end ecosystem. So you have your devices, device availability that plays a vital role, and then the availability of spectrum, and then also your access layer, which is one will be Open RAN, and notwithstanding the existing conventional 2G, 4G, 5G network that we have. And sooner or later, we migrate in 2030, 2035 into 6G network. And then of course, leveraging on platforms. So the likes of cloud computing and then IoT platform that will enable sensors to work, and also, leveraging on the capability of 5G as a technology. So there are a lot of bits and pieces. It is not just focus on Open RAN. It's not just focus on, the access connectivity that we have, but rather considering all the different layers, application, and the capability of consumers, us, to spend and to adapt like enterprise customer to adopt digital transformation and enable it to offer to their respective customers. I turn over to Leonard.
Thank you to my good friend Hart. Very good question, no? But I probably answered that not as smart, but I will wear my Asia Open RAN hat, no, because I think it goes for all the operators, no, around the world, especially here in our country, at least for the three of us. What will your best recommendation be? No, my answer to that is to follow Rakuten. I think all that Mahesh has presented, actually, Rakuten is a model for all of us, no, operators around the world. They're really the disruptor of telco industry, and what they have done are really good for all of us. No? But again, being us, with my good friend Hart, as not a greenfield operator, we are a brownfield operator, a very matured network. It's not an easy decision for us. No? If we probably have built our network yesterday or last year or even this year, we could have decided the same way. The decision making was more simple for us. But then again, we are a very matured network. Our networks has been there for more than 20 years now. It has been built for more than 20 years. And the journey towards what Rakuten has done is not as simple as we want it to be. No? But again, the recommendation is to do all of those that Rakuten has done. And probably the best that we could get is to request is to get the support of the government, just like what our colleagues in the other parts of the world has received from their government. Because again, this is a new technology. Adopting this new technology would take a lot of effort, would take a lot of changes in everything, no? Not just the network, but the organization, the way we do things, the processes, the way we procure, a lot of things. There's a lot of preparation that needs to be done. But then again, we want to go there. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Leonard.
you. Just to add to that, Hassan, as a country, I will give you an example. Traditionally, maybe one example could be India. Traditionally, India was always just an importer of such technologies from the western part of the world, or right. So what happens is each time you just get the technology, you don't get the know-how to build that technology. Now with Open RAN coming up, there are new radio vendors coming in India. There are new CUD Open RAN offerings coming from India, right? So you basically become an exporter of that technology when you build such solutions for yourself and start deploying it to other countries, right? So just not that you build your network, it's that you build a capacity to create such technology. And one of our attempt to help Asia through this technology disruption is get people trained on Open RAN technology. And this Asia Open RAN Academy is one such initiative, thanks to USAID and the team here.
Thank you, Mahesh. I think the question from Jason is also for Mahesh. Your antenna model seems similar with AAU of Huawei, where antenna and RRU are incorporated. Are these types eliminating the chance of swap sectors?
Abhishek, you want to take that?
Yes, Mahesh. Yes. So, hi, Jason. So, our softwares are agnostic to active and passive hardwares, and I mean, we don't bother what antenna is installed at the tower, whether it's AU from any other vendors. We can just connect our ORAN RU with the antenna with a simple jumper cable, and it's done. So because we are agnostic to all the hardwares, whether it's active hardwares or passive hardwares. I hope I answered your question.
So basically, you get a choice to pick the antenna.
Let me answer also on a conventional network point of view, because the real reason why there are swap sector is the workmanship of people implementing the antenna system. So if it wasn't implemented properly, then the antenna, there's a big probability that there are swap antenna or swap sectors on the antenna system. On the perspective view of an Open RAN architecture, yes, this will now eliminate the possibility of having swap sectors, because you are already integrating your antenna with the RRU units straight on the tower. So basically, you want you want result into a swap sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Gerard. We have here a question at the chat box from Tadeo Garcia. How is your experience in optimization in Open RAN? Since optimization does not only adjusting or modifying radio, but also up to the core side. With Open RAN, we will be adjusting different vendor equipment to interwork. Who do you want me? Who wants to answer the question? For
Yeah,
other
it's a follow-up question. For if it is for Rakuten Symphony, yes, we do have a plan. We do have a roadmap for next 3 to 5 years how it will go. Obviously, we will also have to wait for some of the standards to be announced. But until that happens, whatever roadmap we have ready, we can work with the Philippine government to address those issues.
Thank you, Mahesh.
And to answer the questions that are in chat on optimization, Open RAN ecosystem. Sorry, yeah. The how is your experience in optimization of Open RAN? Yeah, so we have our Symworld, where radio system and core network can be integrated to monitor. So simply it can be monitored through the remotely through the Symworld, and whatever is required to adjust the radio parameter or fine tuning or modifying, it can be easily done through the Symworld. So we don't require any physical presence for changing those things on the site. It can be directly done remotely. And we are doing that in our RMI, Rakuten Mobile, already.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate, and thank you everybody for being a so nice participant today.